Good afternoon. So it is day 7. Yay! Final day of this gratitude challenge. It's Sunday, 4 after 4. So this is the latest I've jumped on so far to do one of these lives. So I'll start with what I'm grateful for today. I'm grateful for this wrapping up. As much as I love these challenges and get so much out of forcing myself to jump online every day and really flesh out the contents of these particular topics, I I don't want to do these all the time constantly. It's nice to focus on the task for 7 days, and then it's really nice to finish that and then focus on other things and just get back to day for a bit. I don't even do these monthly. It's more sort of just when I feel like it. When I feel like focusing in on something, that's when I do these. So I'm grateful having done this challenge, and then I'm just equally as grateful for it to be wrapping up and for this to be the last live for this particular topic for the moment. I'm also grateful for I went to an event this morning run by B, and she is the fantastic photographer who's responsible for my more recent photos that I've posted a couple of. And I've got some more of her beautiful work to share. Anyway, she ran this incredible workshop this morning called Being Seen, and it was just really good. I love continuing my growth, my learning, and that will never stop. It's a long-term love affair. The nice thing is these days it doesn't come from a place of feeling like I need to be anything more than what I already am, or that I'm not good enough and therefore trying to, fix myself. It really just comes from a place of deep joy in discovering more parts of myself and integrating more parts of myself. And what was really beautiful about that event, there's so many great, beautiful things about Bee's event, is that there was some beautiful women there, one of which she's fabulous, and we were chatting, and she actually listens to some of these lives, and she just said some really beautiful things that I am very grateful for. Sometimes, more often than not, I feel like I bumble a little bit through these, and that's due to nerves a little bit, and also I don't prep these as I do sort of my professional trainings. I don't want these lives to, first of all, have to consume so much preparation time, and I want it to be a more accurate reflection of who I am, as opposed to having thorough content fleshed out. So I've always got my little, key points and intention that I want to get across. But you'll notice I don't hold myself to anything. Just sort of see where it goes. And so it was really lovely to get the feedback that she didn't sort of see that bumbling version. She's like, oh my gosh, you articulate well, you express well. I was like, oh wow, thank you. So yeah, gratitude in that. There's lots more that I'm grateful for today, but that'll do for this particular share. So today's being the last day is a wrap up, and so really, it's just sort of touching on some of the things that I've sort of shared and expressed throughout this week. So I hope the importance and the how critical gratitude is as a key to joy. I hope and trust that that has come across. In its simplicity is its power. Um, yeah, I can't really express it any more than other than, I'm not the only one hamming on about gratitude. Luke made a funny point the other day. He goes, "Is gratitude like the in thing at the minute?" He goes, "Or am I just all of a sudden seeing lots of things about gratitude because I'm doing it?" And I started laughing because I'm like, well, that's the RAS, the reticular activator system kicking in for him. But yeah, there's a reason why it comes through in so many things, like not just in, NLP and life coaching, positive psychology. I originally sort of was introduced to gratitude through a counseling session. So, it's been around forever. And there is very good reason why so many people are on the gratitude bandwagon. So yeah, I can't really sort of ham it up anymore. It's important. Um, it's important that we feel it more so than anything, whether we're taking time out to write it down or not. The more that we can take a breath and a moment at any point during the day and just go, what is it that I'm grateful for right now? And actually feel it, whatever that feels like for you. Hopefully it's a pleasant sensation. It gives us so much. It does change the structure of our brain, the chemical makeup, the neural pathways. It changes our perception of our reality around us. It opens ourselves up to receiving more of the things that we're already receiving. When we focus on lack and the things that we don't want, then we're opening up ourselves to more of that. And so the fastest way to get more of what we want is to be grateful for what it is that we already have. And there's a lot of enjoyment to be gained from that. The other thing that it gives us, of course, is emotional resilience. So when things are not great, when life is taking us into those dips, we can take stock and actually find the things that are actually still going pretty well for us, even though it can sometimes feel like things are falling apart. I did do a live on that. So, and just being kind and compassionate to ourselves when we're really in those heavier, darker moments where gratitude is seemingly so far away and something that we're not able to find ourselves tapping into. It happens. It's okay. And just being really compassionate to that part of ourselves that is got the higher intensity at that time. So as much as I harp on about this, if you are going through things at the minute, and that means that gratitude is not something that you can do right now, not making ourselves wrong or beating ourselves up, okay, adding to the pressures that we're already under. Yeah. So, compassion is the next thing that we can do for ourselves when gratitude is not something that we can hook into at that time. um, when I was reflecting on, I didn't want to cover any new content in this one because I've already covered so much throughout the week, and I more just want to wrap up. But I had this thing come through, and that is there's this gorgeous woman who, she's a bit older now, but her name's Catherine Moonshalot. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right. And she did a TED talk in Melbourne many years ago, and it's called The Funnel of Greatness, and I'm going to post a link to that. And what she talks about is creating a life where she's only, and she's done this for herself, it's really cool, where she's only bringing in things to assist her in focusing on what she wants. And she talks about it being a funnel of greatness, like there's a big funnel on top of her head, and she's only putting things in that funnel. She's only feeding herself with things that are benefiting her, that are assisting her in her greatness. And that goes from, what she watches on TV, to the books that she reads, to the people that she hangs out with, to feeding herself well. Anyway, that popped into my head because I was sort of reflecting on some of the things that I had covered, and, things like who we surround ourselves with. So, like, for example, this morning, going to that event and being surrounded by an incredible group of people who are focused on service and being seen in this world in their acts of service. And that was really cool, sharing our experiences and realizing that some of the stories and narratives that we had going on about being of service, insecurities, well, who am I to do what I do? And sharing that was really beautiful. So I am so grateful for the communities that I have opened myself up to over the years through my own learnings. The people that I know through WDS, the World Domination Summit, the people that I met in my original coaching studies through TLCC, the guys that I met up in Byron Bay through the Path of Alchemy and Jeffrey Slater's studies that I did up there. All of these people are people who have a solid belief about creating the world and playing their part in creating the world that they want to live in. And that's a strong foundation for myself. And so, I love the conversations that fuel me, that I get to have with those groups of people. So totally diverted then. Apologies. Yeah. So what things are we doing to fuel our gratitude? What things are we doing to fuel our focus and push us in the directions of the places that we want to go and be? Every little thing that we do is either a benefit or a detriment to ourselves. And so, that beautiful video that Catherine produced she was looking to only put things in her funnel that were of benefit to herself, and consciously choosing that. And she talks about what the benefits are for her in doing that. So I highly recommend that video. I will post the link. Okay, so I think that's it. The last little thing that I want to wrap up is a couple of little affirmation, grateful statements that have sort of come to me at certain times that have been quite powerful. Now, as I said yesterday with affirmations, it's they're very useful, unless there's some limiting unconscious beliefs that are in opposition of those. But generally what happens is when we say these affirmations, if they're difficult to say or we stumble on them, it generally means that there's something underlying that might be in conflict. But also when you say these things, you'll feel it if you're paying attention to what's going on internally. You'll feel if there's any resistance to the words that are being said. So I'm going to say these. As I said, these are ones that have just dropped in over time at different periods that have been of particular use to me, and feel free to borrow them and try them on for yourself. So the first one there is, I am whole, rich, fulfilled, and joyful now. So just saying it. Okay, the words came out, and there wasn't any sense of resistance in me through saying that. Okay, and you might find that you have a similar experience, or you might have a different experience through that one. I have everything I could ever possibly need right now. Nothing more or less is required right now. So just feeling it as it's being said. I am everything I could ever possibly need right now. Nothing more or less is required right now. And the last one that I'll finish up with, this one's got a little kick in it. I am grateful for me. And I don't think you need me to do any deep dives on that particular one. I think it's pretty obvious. So thank you for listening. Thank you for your attention and your time. And thanks for all the shares and the messages. And I'm very grateful. Thank you.